Hey friends, so these are the materials we're going to need. Scissors, regular paper. If you have watercolor or mixed media, you can use that. Any kind of watercolors would be super fun. These are just some dollar store. I just want to show you that, of course, the quality paint makes a difference, but whatever you have is really great. You'll need a paintbrush and some water, a white crayon, a Sharpie would be great, a thicker one unless you enjoy the fine, a sweet little snack, some water, and then I just found a frame that I had at home laying around that I wasn't using. Actually got it from Goodwill for 50 cents. So I don't know if you enjoy thrift shopping or secondhand shopping, but it can be a lot of fun. So this is what we're making today. It says, let it snow. And one of the cool things is these little snowflakes that are kind of hidden in between. So this is our end goal. It's really a quick activity and something that you could really make different. You could do hearts with a fun Valentine's theme. You could do, I don't know, a Star Wars, like make little Yodas and then paint it green and then put like May the 4th be with you or something cute. You can always take this idea, this strategy, this method and apply it to something different you'd like to do. So we're gonna grab our paper, and I love the idea of cutting it in half. And it's okay if it isn't perfect. Mine definitely was not perfect. But you kind of eyeball where the center is and you cut. One of my tricks when you're cutting is you just make sure that your blades are straight. You can tell that you're gonna go wonky. But if you take your time, now sometimes, oh, that's pretty close. If you look, if you put them on top, you can figure out how close you were. And then you decide, do I like the big or the small? I like the small little guy because I think that's cute. So I'm going to, let's see, maybe, I'm gonna grab a pencil. I didn't ask you to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's do our let it snow first. I'm gonna pop in a gummy bear for fun. Okay, so I chose to do let it snow all in fun script. So you can choose what kind of font. Do you want it to be your own handwriting? Do you like the script idea? Do you want it to be bold? Totally up to you. I love when I make capital letters to the first letter actually is just a normal fun L. But for this one, let's go all lowercase. Or if you want to be flexible and do your own, that's fine too, be creative. So I'm going to do a big loop for L. And because it's let it snow, the E should be centered. Now, obviously, this one isn't perfect, and nothing has to ever be perfect, right? This is the center of my paper where I want my E to be. Pull away from you for your E. And I'm doing a bouncing style. See how my L started here, went down, and then up. Let. Pull down. And I made my T drop as low as my L. And remember, one of the cool things about pencil is you can always change it. Now I'm gonna do it. And my it, the word will be smaller than this, so I'm gonna just go, my I should be in this area and my T should be here. I'm gonna do my cute dot, connect them. Let it snow. Now our S can be flexible too, you can be creative. So this is just a traditional S with a loop around. Now you can make it the way that you learned your S when you were learning cursive, totally up to you. Again, this is where you get to be flexible. The word snow is gonna be the largest word that you've done. So you're gonna wanna start further towards your edge than before. See how we were kind of in the middle? Now we're gonna be way out here. Let's see, let it snow, and I'm gonna do a curvy one. Okay, let it snow. So we're gonna take a break from our pencil and you're gonna grab whatever kind of white crayon you have. The idea is to get something waxy on your paper. So then you just kind of scribble. And I'm making motions. Let me show you my motion because you can't see it obviously because it's clear. But your snowflakes can be anything. They could be circles or dots. They can be lines. They can be very faint. They can be like this. They can be more designed. So many different ways to create a snowflake, right? I mean, you could really get carried away. Whatever you choose for your style, here's a couple of examples. You could pause it if you want to figure out which one you love. Now, I'm not claiming that mine are great, but I'm just saying that these can be really fun to see pop through in your art. So I'm going to choose a couple just for fun. And I'm just going to fire them all over my paper. Remember, no snowflake is the same, so it's okay if things are a little different than you might think. And I'm truly just scribbling, because that's the idea of snow. Snow, it isn't a pattern. Snow is so free-spirited and fun. You can feel on your paper and try to figure out where is an area you may have missed, because believe it or not, you can't go back to this step after we do the next step. And I really think that more is more in this activity. Sometimes I love doing not so much, but I think that having a lot of snow could be really cool. Okay, so once you're ready, we're going to grab your paints. I want you to think of what color scheme you want it to be. I really chose a cold winter day feel for mine. So I used blue, pink to make some purples, and that's pretty much it. So you're going to let the water do most of the work when you're doing watercolors. So I'm just to show you that you can use any material. This is truly the brush that I got with this set. So I'm gonna just dunk a bunch of water into one of my circles here. I'm really creating this pool, and then I'm gonna decide what colors am I gonna go after. And I think I'm gonna use most of these over here. So let's go ahead and grab some of this pink shade. In my head, I count to 5, and then I bring that color over. I'm gonna try to leave as much as I can over here. I'm pushing it off before I go and grab some more and hit my next color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we go. Now we're creating these different shades. I'm gonna leave as much of it as I can, push it all out of my brush, and refresh. Let's grab this dark shade and put it here. Now, if you notice, I don't know how much you can see in my video, but when I put water in the paint right into my circle, see how little I have here? That's why I went before and I just went water collecting. So that's what I'm gonna do again. I'm gonna go collect some water. Just gonna collect some water. I'm glad I told you about my thrift store, because look, I paid 50 cents for my cute little water dish. Apparently I didn't do anything with. I just grabbed it out of my garage. Ooh, pretty. Nice. So experiment with your colors, kind of play around, grab some water. Oh, beautiful. Okay, once you have your colors the way that you love them, and it's okay to always go back to this step. So as you're creating, be like, ooh, I'm out of that color, or I like how this is going. You can always layer. So this is a lot of the fun. But as you paint, you are going to try to spread your color out as far as you can. That was giving it that nice olluded look. But you do want your pigment to be dark enough that you're able to see your markings. So I used up all the color I made, but are you able to see where it's hard to show you in the camera, but you definitely can see my snow is there. So let me try to use some darker shades to really, can you see that now? I'm just kind of mixing my colors up, spreading them across, grabbing some water, let the water do the work. You can kind of jump around your page with your colors. I was a little nervous the first time I did this that my colors wouldn't last, kind of like I used up all my reds super quick. So I focused on one color and just threw it wherever I could. So if that's you, that works too. Pretty. I'm noticing the darker shades really help your snow to appear. So if you want to have a fun pop of color every now and then, you're going to spread your water out like this and then dunk right into a pigment, right into a color, and then you're going to go right over it. See how the water is spreading out my shade to still make it nice and bright, but still muted. Keep the snow day feel. Your paper will start to buckle unless you're using watercolor paper. But again, that's part of the point. I wanted to show you that you can still use regular stuff to create something cool. Use what you have at home to be creative. If it doesn't turn out the way you want, that's okay too. It's a learning process. Get exposed to something new, see if you like it. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Maybe watercolor is not your thing, your favorite. Grandma never reading, thank you. My boys are trying so hard to be sweet and kind during our time together. Let's throw some pink in here. Then you kind of look around and you figure out what is missing in your piece. Are your shades kind of talking to each other? But let me show you up closer. You see if you can see my snow that it popped up. So I'm just going to give it some time before I kind of go over top. But that's the last step. It would just be to grab your marker and trace over top. Now, if you do it before your paper is dry, your paper will likely rip. Have you ever erased on top of an area, maybe, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but did you ever do schoolwork and you were crying, like maybe you didn't want to do it or you were sad? So if you go on top of wet paper, it will rip. I had friends that struggled with spelling, and when they would practice their spelling words and they would be upset, their tears would rip their paper, and it would be so sad for them. I understand that. Sometimes you have to do hard things. I'm trying to make my paper dry. It's kind of really fun to see your colors all muted together. Just for fun, I'm going to try to go ahead and I'm going to go over my wet paper with my marker, and let's just see how it goes. I'm going to be very gentle. Intentionally, very gentle. Good job.
To organize it, and I got deorganized.
It's okay, Evie, not right now, okay? The goal is to be reading for you. So friends, you're just gonna keep going over your letters. Oh, I think I'm hitting a too wet of area. My marker's starting to have a hard time. So this is a great lesson, and you can't rush your artwork. Sometimes you just need to be patient. Not one of my talents, being patient. I like to finish projects. Cross it off my list. Ta-da! Let it snow. There we go. There's my next one. I kind of like it a lot better than my original. What do you think, Ev? Which one do you like better? Oh, why do you like it?
There's more colors.
Ooh, yeah. Do you see my snow in there?
Yes.
Do you like it? Awesome. All right, friends, I can't wait to see yours.